Welcome back, Captains, to another episode of Starfleet Academy Online. I'm your host and instructor, Hale Bohse, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about K-13. Now, K-13 is one of those holdings that you're probably not going to go to on a daily basis, but there's definitely some really useful things here that might enhance your build depending on what your philosophy is. And this place is also really cool because it's kind of like that tribute to the original series era, which I feel is really cool because I know that a lot of Star Trek fans out there really, put the TOS series first, and that's totally fine. I love the TOS series, but I love all Star Trek, so it's just a thing. But in any case, looking at K-13, this is one of those places like if you're a real role player or if you're like somebody who really enjoys the TOS era and wants to theme your character, your bridge crew, and your ship to that specific era of Star Trek, well, this is one way that you can do that. And here we go. We're going to start that off just a little bit. So, all right. Finally got that loaded up, huh? Well, one of the cool things that I want to share with you today is you'll notice right away as soon as you step off the transporter pad, there is a lot of stuff going on right here. So first off, I want you to note just to the right of the transporter pad here, you'll notice the officer of the watch is here. Now, the officer of the watch is in a lot of the different holdings, and basically they're just an officer that can give a mission of some sort that you can do to earn like maybe an extra 20 fleet marks, which is cool, but it's not 100% necessary for you to do if there's other ways to farm them a bit faster. But this is definitely one extra way that you could get more marks if you're just looking to get that extra few. And so you'll see those at a lot of the different holdings. But then there's this docking master, which of course it's a star base, and so you can switch out your loadouts and your ships here, and that's kind of cool. And in this console right here, and I love this. And I don't understand why all the holdings didn't do it. Only a couple of them kind of did, and this one in particular, where you have the bank, the exchange, and the mail all in the same spot. So if you take a look at that right here, my cursor can't even go down that far in the actual screen, but taking a look at it, you can see right here, it's got all of those different options in one little console right here. So that's pretty cool. So then, kind of moving forward and moving on, we've got this officer right over here. He's got all the duty officer assignments, and just like you saw on the Starbase, and in most of the holdings, there is a duty officer assignment person that will have special duty officer missions that you can only do while you're here in this particular area. And so, mining for in this case the Draconis system minerals, that's pretty cool. And if you'll notice, it does give a significant amount of dilithium. So it's definitely worth your time if you're going to do some duty officer missions to help you refine and acquire more dilithium. Over here, we also have the ship assignment officer. So if you just want to purchase another starship, like you can do that right here, just like at most star bases. Now, just kind of continuing along, going down the list here, and oops, wrong way. Yeah, there we go. Here we are. And so, kind of starting off in this room, this is kind of like, think of it like your 23rd century sort of theming room. So, if you look over here to the left, the K-13 personnel officer has a lot of 23rd century bridge or duty bridge officers that you can use to spec out your crew in really nice 23rd century officers that are also very rare. Some of them have some neat abilities, but it's hit and miss depending on what it is that you're looking for. Some are better for ground and space, etc. But if you look at these are kind of cool right here, and these are kind of unique. So if you're looking for that special TOS vibe and having a couple special bridge officers, the Andrea type android and Dr. Brown is here. They have those character models from the original series episode, What Little Girls Are Made Of. I think that's in season 1. And so that's a really That's a really kind of cool homage that they did for the original series, and kind of a neat thing that you can have in game here if you like that. But in addition to that, here you can see that there are uncommon rare and very rare duty officers that as your K-13 ranks up in tier, you will have access to more and more rare duty officers, and these are really good. Fabrication engineers and research lab scientists that you can get a hold of, because these are going to be very useful when you're crafting and stuff later. Training manuals, of course, and the reason that these are so important is because you'll notice that it's not just the first two iterations of these things, it's actually all three. So both for ground and space, you have the science team 3, engineering team 3, tactical team 3. You know what I mean? Emergency power to engines, to weapons, power 3. That's a big one for a lot of people. Fire at will, beam overload 3, torpedo high yield, and of course torpedo spread 3. So these are very useful items, and look, they're not that expensive. I mean, really, 7,500 fleet marks is nothing, or fleet, excuse me, credits, and 4,250 dilithium is also really not that much to ask for when you're doing a third iteration of these types of abilities. So these are great places to stock up, and you'll notice that they're all 23rd century themed, and that's really cool because these 23rd century themes, it's all going to play into you being able to theme out your team that way. And so obviously we do have a tailor. Whoops, going to the wrong spot. But if you take a look at the tailor, it's the standard thing as anything else would be. But what is cool is they do have a couple of civilian outfits for the 23rd century, but unfortunately they don't have the TOS era uniforms. Those you have to pick up a different way, and usually from the Zen store. So, but that's okay. If you're one of those role players and you're looking for that 23rd century experience, you'll probably pick it up, or if you have not already. Then, if you're looking at ground weapons and space weapons, again, all 23rd century themed cannons, torpedoes, phasers, you know what I mean, arrays, just whatever you want. Again, sound effects and visuals are all from the TOS era, which is pretty cool. And pretty good stuff there, too. So check that out. But the very next thing that we're going to show you, which I think is actually really super important and probably the best reason to come for to the K-13 in my opinion, and that's if you take a look. Whoops. Yeah. You see this biologist right here. This is the most important person that you're going to talk to. Okay, so if you take a look, this is the trait enhancement store. And so naturally, you're going to get a hold of a bunch of space and ground traits that you're going to be used to enhance your bill. And if you'll note, you'll be able to take a look at them here, personal ground and space traits. And here they are. There's tons of them. And you can put them in any combination you want depending on what you're going for in your build. But I actually use a couple of them that were upgraded. So I use the superior beam training, and I also use superior accuracy or superior accurate. And in order to upgrade those, I had to come here to the trait enhancements, and you'll notice they're very, very expensive. 100,000 fleet credits plus over 21,000 dilithium. That's kind of pricey. I'm not gonna lie. So just kind of getting an idea of what that's going to cost, save up your ducats, because that's going to be something you do. But also keep in mind that the enhancements, I mean, it's not 100% the most important thing to do. It's just one more way to just inch out a little bit more and get a little bit more out of the abilities you're using. So originally beam training was about 5% bonus beam weapon damage, whereas now it's 7.5%. And so that's kind of a neat little trade-off there. You get an extra 2.5% tier 2 bonus beam weapon damage, which is great. And then again with superior, same thing. I think it was 10 initially, and now it's 15. So those are both great little enhancements to stuff that you're probably already using, just to get that little extra boost out of it. And there's tons of these. It's just that I've purchased a lot of them, so they're not showing up on here. But take a look for yourself. I definitely guarantee you're going to find something in there you're going to want to use. Next is this Xeno Equipment Officer, which I mean, there's not much to say except for it's it's a little bit tanky, more for damage resistance and for shield hardness, etc. But then you also have the power flow. So if you want that EPS, power transfer rate, this is a great way to do it. And it also gives a slight reduction in recharge time to your specialist duty officer ability or your bridge officer abilities. So can be a little bit of haste in combat, and of course a few kit modules which you might be interested in if you can care to take a look. So that's pretty much it, though. I mean, there's not really a lot more when it comes to K-13. There's really just this bottom floor of busyness. So hopefully, I mean, maybe you can think of something that's important that I might have missed in K-13. If that's so, please mention that in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts on this. And as always, I really want to thank each and every one of you for staying tuned and for watching these episodes. If you made it to this end, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Consider giving us a like, and if you like more of this awesome Star Trek Online content, please stay tuned for that next video. And as always, boldly go.
Legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you.